There you are. What's going on, Nivea?
I'm having terrible internet issues today. I don't know why. I wish I wasn't, but I most certainly am. Hold 1 second. Let me see if I can get a better. Okay, that's much better. How
All
are
right. Well,
you?
I'm good. Let's just cross our fingers that we can do this whole interview without anything
Yes.
disconnecting. But I want to thank you for coming through and taking the time to talk to us because we've been huge fans, huge supporters
Thank
of you
you. I
for
have a
a
crazy
long
wig on
time.
today. I've been like
I love it.
obsessed with this wig for a week now. Well, like 3 days, but
I
thank you
love
for
it.
having me. I love I've been following you guys for a minute now.
Yeah, we've been supporting you for a minute too, but Nivea, we got so much to talk about. Obviously, a
Okay.
lot of people know you from your first album. You
Oh,
just put out a new
really?
album last year, so
Hi. People are saying, oh, people showing love. What's up, y'all? I
yeah,
love this.
exactly. Yeah, so let's start out with the first album here, Nivea. A lot of people, when they think back to this album, they love it, but let's actually take it back before the first album. I was talking to B Cox a couple of weeks ago, and he was telling me
Oh,
that you started
wow.
out
Beacon. Shout out to Beacon.
you were working out early on with the Casey brothers from Jagged Edge and B Cox. Like you guys worked on a lot together.
Yes, I love the twins, Brandon and Brian Casey. They're very talented writers and singers. And I got to meet them at right when I was 17 years old. And we synced right away. And
Hmm.
they was able to write some really great music for and with me. And so I'm blessed. And we're going to work on some more stuff in the future, the near future coming.
Right. So kind of take me through that timeline then. You're working with them at noontime and then you transition over to your debut. Like just take me through that timeline.
Okay, well, prior to meeting them, I was actually a part of Organized Noise, Dungeon Family with Rico
Oh
Waste,
wow.
Sleepy Brown, yes. All of them, the whole crew. And then when I was like 15, 16, and then I had a really pretty slickster manager who kind of got me out of that situation. And we moved over to Noontime,
Yeah.
who also was a great company that represented a lot of songwriters, artists, and producers. Where I met B Cox, I met the twins from Jagged Edge, and a host of other producers and songwriters. But in though them in particular, I was 17 at the time, or
Yeah.
definitely at the time that I left Noontime, and that's where Don't My Man came about. And so I did my
Wow.
record deal when I was 18 years old, which was the following year, and that song was included on my first album. So
Yeah.
lucky me.
So I gotta get your perspective on Don't Mess with My Man because a lot of people have heard the version that came out. Some may have heard the original version. It had a completely
Oh,
different
okay,
beat
so let
to
me
it.
explain. The
Yeah.
version that came out is not a different vocal version. It's a different musical version that
Yeah.
Brian did because I was 16 and didn't come out till I was about 19. So he
Yeah.
wanted to redo the music because it sounded a bit dated to us. I like the original one. A lot of people to this day say they
Yeah.
prefer the original one over the remix Brian did. Either way,
Yeah.
Brian is incredible producer. So people like both versions, but the one that was released was a newer version than the
Yeah.
original.
Right. So, Nivea, let's get to your debut album here. So many great songs on here. I'm just looking at the track list. Still in Love, one of my favorites. No
You
Doubt,
like
John
Still
T.
in Love? I did that at
Oh,
noontime.
No Doubt, John T. wrote that one. That was an
Jonte
amazing record.
Austin, yes, he wrote
Yeah.
No Doubt. See, Jonte also met at noontime. Teddy Bishop, a producer, I met at noontime. A lot of such great talent. Q Smith, JQ is a really dope writer. He's written for many other artists that I
Yeah.
also had the pleasure. I think he wrote No Doubt as well. I was so
Hmm.
young, so long ago. But yeah, noontime had a whole host, a whole crew of talent.
Yeah.
It
So
was really dope.
you had those records from Noontime, and then of course the Neptunes come in, R. Kelly comes in, a lot of
Well,
these
the
others
Neptunes and
producers
R.
come in.
Kelly came in, thank God, because of my label at the time, which was Jive Records. They
Yeah.
also was, represented them as well. So Mystical and I were label mates,
Yeah.
and Mystical, Pharrell Nerd, NERD, they were actually starting off a production deal with Jive at the time. They worked on a host of Jive artists. I was just fortunate enough to be one of them. So yeah, it was a good time, man.
Yeah. And then of course, Don't Mess with the Radio. And I feel like that song, um, it's a lot different than what we hear from Nivea as her career
Now, right?
progresses. But just talk about that song.
Okay. Wow. Don't Mess with Radio was a song that was on my demo that I did when I was with Organized Noise, the Dungeon
Oh
Family.
wow.
And it was actually very urban, so we thought, and it wasn't received as that way when I was brought out. It crossed over immediately. People thought of it more. I think it was more so concerned with my image with the color hair and whatnot. It was
Yeah.
more pop, R&B,
Hmm.
hip hop, which it's if you listen now, you can hear it. It's very urban. But I didn't
Yeah.
gravitate towards the urban community until "Don't Mess with My Man," which was my second single. But it was "Don't Mess with the Radio" first. You're right about
Nice.
that.
Yeah.
Isn't that funny? And look
It's
how the times
hilarious.
have changed.
And then the record 25 Reasons. Nivea, I still see people tweeting and talking about this song to this
It's
day.
so freaking shocking. There's no video to it. It wasn't a single.
Yeah.
It came out digitally when I was out of my deal, out of the industry, pretty much, and at home having kids. So
Yeah.
I learned about people knowing about 25 Reasons when me and my children are shopping for groceries and people coming
Right.
up to me saying stuff. And I'm like, how do you even know about it? They were like, you don't know about Pandora? You never heard of none of this existed at the time.
Yeah.
So Amazon, YouTube, nothing. I was out
Right.
of the game, or I took my break, you can say, from the game before, MySpace was even created. So
Yep.
it's been a real trippy time, but I'm also grateful that people were able to experience Complicated. And to this day, till
Yep.
this day, 15 years later, are able to say, girl, I still listen to that, or I love that song. It means a
Mm-hmm.
lot. It means a lot to me.
Yeah.
Complicated was a very special album to me. My ex-husband and I dreamed, finished that up together. I wrote a lot of personal truths on that record. So it's an
Yep.
honor.
Yeah. I mean, just take me back to that Complicated album. You co-wrote a lot of it with Dream. And at that time, the Dream, I think he had written maybe a B2K record. Like nobody really knew the Dream at the time. Did the
Yeah,
label
he
believe in
wasn't
the Dream at
as
that time?
prominent in his career, of course, as
Yeah.
now, then. But yes, he had definitely done songwriting. He had been in a group before. He did Britney Spears and
Yeah.
Madonna Mia Gets the Music and some B2K records. And then my song "Okay" that he wrote
Yeah.
with Tracy Hale. Shout out to Tracy Hale and Tricky Stewart. Great. That trio is magical together as a
Yeah.
songwriting production team. Any Hulu Bopper, they produced many hits since then and after. But that record in particular launched him, but it wasn't until he, got Umbrella placed on Rihanna that people knew
Hmm.
how great of a talent Dream is and was and still is. But it was an honor. I've been very fortunate to be amongst talent that
Yeah.
matches and surpasses mine and has pushed me to elevate mine.
Yeah.
And I'm just really fortunate people still like my music after all this
Oh yeah.
time.
Of course.
Thank you,
Of course.
God. But that's when even if, like, say for instance, I'm pointing out that Dream and a lot of other songwriters, the twins from Jagged Edge, Brandon and Bryan, other
Yeah.
songwriters were heavily participant in the classic records that people know me by, as well as the ones that I participated in that people love as well. So it's a real honor that even in the midst of you doing something that what didn't come straight from you, that you are a part of, and that you put you on, and people feel and still love and respect. That's the greatest thing, because you
Yeah.
can't buy that.
Yeah. And then on the second album, I gotta ask, when Jonte Beacox and JD gave you the record Parking Lot, and you heard the song Meet Me at the McDonald's Parking Lot, I don't know how you sang that with a straight face because I would have just died
Okay,
laughing.
okay. Here's the story. Of course, I've always wanted to work JD, ATL, A-Town. I'm born and raised Atlanta, and John T. Since I knew him before we actually
Yeah.
even worked together for Parking Lot. However, I was not the young chick at the time. Well, I still am that way. I'm not really big on the cheating thing. I feel like you grow up, once you become an adult, you can do whatever you want to do, however you want to do
Hmm.
it, with whoever you want to do it. There's no need for secrecy or games or sneaking, even though
Yep.
to each his own. I know that some people think it's not mine. So I was very uncomfortable saying my man at home, meet me at the McDonald's parking lot. So I did an alternate version, even though the song is dope.
Yep.
And I changed the lyrics saying like, I need to see you now, can you get out? Versus like, I need to see you now, can you get out? My man is at the house, so I said, I'm about to leave the house, so I didn't make it seem like
Oh
I was cheating on
wow.
somebody, but it's just like I'm just being, wild and freaky. But I didn't want to be wild and freaky and doing somebody dirty. It just wasn't my
Mm.
character. So I just had to change the lyrics. It's a silly story, but it's an attribute to my character, and that was important
Hmm.
to me
I love it.
at the time. So yeah, I changed
Yeah.
some lyrics later and did an alternate version. But I love Parking
Mm.
Lot. A lot of my fans love Parking Lot, so I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Yeah. I'm still mad that album didn't come out here. I wish it
Oh,
did.
I know, right?
Yeah.
But it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
Hey, you can still get it online, and hopefully you enjoy the new music I have to do in the future. And
Yeah.
I have an entertainment company now.
Wow.
I just started. It's called ATE, All Things Entertainment, and it's
Mm.
basically an entertainment agency where I represent different talent, up until a certain point to just put them on and navigate them to a better or a bigger position in their careers. And I'm excited about that. So I've been it's a really big passion of mine. I love to vocal
Wow.
produce. I love to create image control, as far as basically like artist development and putting a
Right.
whole artist project together and seeing it through, and branding that image and letting them thrive off of that. So I'm starting it up. I'm excited about that, as well as being doing that. I've been inspired to go back and do some new music. So
Yep.
and I have some videos coming this summer for
That's
Mirrors.
amazing. Nice. Yeah, we got to talk about that Mirrors album in a bit. But before we do that, let's talk about this album, Animalistic. This album is
Ooh,
so ahead of its time. It never came out in the States. Is it even available for streaming? I don't think it is.
Animalistic is on. It's available on Amazon, I believe. Amazon.
Okay.
However, I just had my twin boys, so now we're on the third child at this point. I was a new
Yeah.
mom still at that point because they're only 11 months apart from their sister Navy, my first child, my daughter.
Hmm.
And I wasn't in a space, my body and internally and externally was changing. My voice was
Yeah.
a bit not the same. So I don't like my vocal
Mm.
um
Okay.
performance on Animalistic on every record as much as I would have in my past and present.
Right.
However, Animalistic to me represents a time where clearly Dream was thriving in
Yeah.
coming into himself as a songwriter. If
Yeah.
you listen to Animalistic, you can see how Good Girl Gone Bad, Rihanna, and everything
Yeah.
that Beyonce's done after that came about from his writing. You can hear the peak of him getting into knowing how to basically, it's like trap and B, knowing how
Yeah.
to make stories, still tell stories, but make them hooky, but make you feel them, but make them fun. It was like he was coming into his essence as a songwriter. And me being who we were only working with each other at the time, we
Yeah.
did that record together. And I think it really represents him coming into his own songwriter versus me as an artist. That's why I think
Yeah.
I performed, somewhat poorly vocally on that record, but
Mm.
you can't deny the records are dope. It's just the performance level, in my opinion, were very low in
Right.
comparison to what I know I'm capable of. And but I'm still proud of him because of what he did. And I wrote a little bit on Animalistic, but that was really his baby as far as the putting together of it. He did a lot of that himself. We were we were Spark One Entertainment that
Mm.
navigated into Radio Killer, as we did basically like labels do a distribution through a publishing company or distribution company. We were the acting label Spark One / Radio Killer. Records
Mm.
who did a distribution deal with Formula One Records in Japan. That's why I was only released in Japan. It was only for
Wow.
distribution overseas. But as the years pass, and
Yeah.
as you are now, people still bring up Animalistic. So I'm glad people enjoy it. I didn't know people
Right.
would ever hear it in America,
Right.
but it's still a blessing.
Right.
Toast,
Absolutely.
toast.
So, I mean, Nivea, I gotta say this, like, and I'm loving the fact that you've started an entertainment business
Yeah.
company, and you have so much experience. Like, I always felt like you were probably one of the most underrated of your era, just in terms of the
Aw.
music that you put out. And whatever happens with the industry, it is what it is. But I mean,
Yeah,
just
I
take me
take it
through
with a
your,
grain of salt because when people say underrated, that
yeah,
is true. But you have to
yeah,
consider the time. The times are different. We didn't
exactly,
have the type of
yeah,
exposure that we had. We didn't have the control that artists can have now. I'm independent now.
yeah,
I have much more control now. There's different outlets for you to be more successful as an independent artist than it was. All we had was magazines, and you needed a big label corporation to help put you on. Now you can get
yeah,
on Twitter or Instagram or any other app or social media thing and make your thing work. SoundCloud, you name it. But none of
yeah.
that existed. We're talking about Nivea was thriving before MySpace.
Yep.
So I'm learning to navigate the music industry as it is now, and I think it's cool, it's dope, but it's different, and it's sometimes a bit tedious because
Yeah.
it allows so many new artists to get in now because there's so
Hmm.
many ways to get in. So now it's like it's even honestly more competition than before, and it's hard to keep people's focus unless you're like spitting out a record every 10 seconds, and it's not the era I come from.
Yeah.
So, but I'm definitely excited about participating in the new wave and how it's going,
Right.
and put my and operating my other passion, which is pushing other artists out there
Hmm.
and really showing people that creatives are not only big or good in one aspect. There's no creative
Yep.
that wants to do one thing. I want to do 800,000 things. So this is just another one of my passions outside of being a singer and songwriter that I want to do,
Yeah.
which is to hone and polish other talent to push them out there to be successful. And so that's what I'm doing. So I'm so super excited about that.
Wow. Now take me through the Randy Watson project that you put out a couple of
Ah,
years back. Like that's during a time like you
I
said,
love
Nivea, you
you said
came
that.
from.
Okay. The Randy
Yep.
Watson, okay, my favorite movie is Coming to
Yeah.
America with Eddie
Yeah.
Murphy and Arsenio Hall. And in there, there's a character named Randy Watson. He is in a band called Sexual Chocolate. And, like Beyonce has Sasha Fierce. And, it's like an alter ego for me. My mother was a singer. Her whole side of the family, everybody can sing. My cousins, my sisters, everyone. But my father is the musician. So he can write, he plays guitar, he plays piano, he plays tuba, and I grew up with in love and being introduced to literally every genre of music because of both of my parents.
Hmm.
So a lot of people don't know that I'm into rock, a heavy rock head, especially
Right.
classic rock, and neo soul, and
Mm.
and people don't know that about me. Country music, techno, everything. So my father and I, when I was going through my divorce, I was late being introduced to Amy Winehouse just before her Back to Black album, and I was
Yeah.
just inspired like I was when I first heard Lauryn Hill to like create. So we did a whole day-to-day thing. He played the acoustic guitar and I would just write, or I would sing to him what I wanted him to play, and we were just creating music really rough on my laptop, garage
Yeah.
band. And but it was real and the songs are dope, and I want to do a project, so I was like, why not call it the Randy Watson collection, since it's like something people are unfamiliar with Nivea the singer as producing from as a music entity. So I titled that. I still plan to release it. What's been the
Mm.
conflict is to either redo it or leave it as raw as I have it. Because it's
Yeah.
raw. I mean, you can hear buses driving by. Sometimes we were in my car, in a garage, or in a parking lot outside in the grass because
Yeah.
I was just creating. And I actually like the capture of that
Yeah.
authenticity, and you hearing my raw voice and him raw strumming at me. You can hear me talking in the background saying, "No, go up, do this, do that." And so I don't really want to mess with it, but it's been a real conflict. So I
Yeah.
tried to come back or return or continue, however you want to say it, with
Right.
Mirrors and stay R&B, hip hop, pop, and
Yeah.
then slowly introduce my acoustic love, and I really want to do everything. So the Randy Watson collection is like the first of one of my alter egos, and I still plan on doing that. I just had to, a lot of times you got to pay attention to the times and the way people are responding to you. So I did
Mm-hmm.
Mirrors, and it did well, not as well as I'd hoped. And so now I'm like, okay, well, maybe I need to navigate towards my other passions, which isn't just Nivea being a singer. Like
Mm-hmm.
I want to do other business ventures I want to pursue, and other like ATE, and honing and polishing other talent to introduce that to the world. So that's what I'm doing right now. And like I said, in the midst of that, though, it inspired me to go back into the studio. So
Right.
I recorded like 2 new songs. So we'll see. Plus, I plan to release videos this summer for the
Mm.
Mirrors project that I released
Okay.
last year. So you will get more imagery from me, but expect a lot more business endeavors across the board from me,
Yeah.
because it's just in me to do that. And God
Yeah.
knows what these talented children of mine are about to do.
Oh, wow. We're
They
gonna have to
are
talk about that
so
too.
incredibly talented, all 4
Wow.
of them. It's
Wow.
truly amazing to witness, and I'm so proud already. I feel like I'm already accepting. I want to thank my mom for. I'm telling you, the world. I know they're gonna be, quite 4 forces to reckon with in the world. I'm proud of them already. I can see into the future. I swear I can. But yeah. So music
That's
is in
amazing.
me. It will always be in
Yeah.
me. It is it's my life, and it's my passion. But all things creative. Like I want to have a bakery. I'm into fashion. I'm into,
Wow.
you name it.
Wow.
Art,
Nivea, which one
art,
of
art, art.
art which one of your kids has developed the background vocals like you had back like those harmonies that you did, they were crazy.
Oh
Like which one of your
my
kids?
word! Me and all my children love to harmonize. So
Wow.
before it was popular, let me not say it's not funny. Before it was the thing to homeschool children, like unfortunately we're in quarantine right now. I homeschooled my kids years ago, and during those 2 years of homeschool, I incorporated a chorus class because I love chorus.
Wow.
Anyway, all of them, to answer your question, can harmonize. We love to harmonize. It's very
Wow.
natural. If one of us hears the other one singing a note, we'll naturally find another note and get in it. I can be cooking, somebody can be playing the game. We could be, we'll go, we'll just, it's so dope. I love it.
Wow.
And those are the times, despite some of my angst against cameras and social media and the way the world is now, I wish a camera is on us sometimes. Like,
Mm.
dang, it's such great content. As far as a lot of my close friends are like, didn't you expect that though? Knowing who you are and who their fathers are, I'm like, no. We were like 2 people that loved each other that had children. We wasn't like, we gonna make this kind of child. Who's thinking that?
Right.
But in the in that spectrum, and when I think about it, I'm like, well, yeah, you should be pretty dope.
Yeah.
But it's still like awesome to witness, and I'm so obsessed with them, and I admire them so much. I just can't wait to see what they're gonna do because they're
Wow.
so talented. All 4 of
That-
them.
That's amazing.
It
So,
is. It's so crazy
along with
to see.
along with the mentoring, you put out your album last year, Mirrors, and to us, like that almost like came as a surprise because like we had seen you on social media, but that album, it was like it was quick. You
Exactly.
guys got it out.
Well, I have been
Like,
going through a lot of stuff. Like I said, I was wondering, where do I fit? Should I come back?
yeah.
And I'm so fortunate and blessed that people are like, girl, I still bang, come back, girl, I still, and like I post stuff all the time, and I'm like, do y'all realize how long ago that was? Like who expects their records to last that long?
Yeah.
So I'm blessed and it's an honor. So that's what, and my kids, that's what pushed me to do mirrors. That's why I came out of nowhere because I wasn't about to return. I was like,
Right.
I don't think it's for me. I don't know. I had went through a lot of my time away, not just because of the music industry, but life itself had me in a
Right.
different space mentally, and I wasn't inspired. I didn't want to. So I got through that to that space by meeting fans and my children saying, looking up my old stuff, saying, "Mom, you're dope," and hearing me like do stuff now. They encouraged me to get back out there, so I did.
Wow.
And yeah, we'll see what happens.
That's amazing. And Nivea, we're almost out of time here, but I gotta ask, you've been through the industry, you've seen the ups and the downs. Your kids at some point they might want to join and enter this industry and record music. Like, what do you even tell them? Because the industry is so crazy. Like, what kind of advice do you give them?
I haven't yet, and I do, despite one of their fathers disdain for them wanting to get in the industry. I don't
Yeah.
necessarily want them to get in the industry either, but I recognize the same thing that's in their fathers and I that God gave us that we
Yeah.
don't know where it came from, can't take it away, can't get rid of it.
Mm.
They have as
Yeah.
well.
Mm.
I would never deny them their heart's passion and what
Right.
I can see without them telling me their natural God-given talent.
Right.
So when the time comes to when I can see that they're persistent about it, I will 100% back them. And I feel like that's what my experience is for. It's to pour everything into them that their fathers and I know. And I know we're going to be there for them and
Yeah.
guide them. No one wants, I mean, being in the spotlight or being in the industry comes with fame. And fame
Yeah.
in itself isn't as pleasant, nowhere near as pleasant as people think. People want the riches. I won't take that back. But the fame part can go to hell. Because with that, you sacrifice privacy. You sacrifice people respecting
Yeah.
or feeling like you belong to them because you're public. I mean, everything about you. My real name is Nivea, for instance. When I go to the
Yeah.
doctor's office, or if I go anywhere, or they get my debit card, or I put my name on something, they're like, "Oh, I knew it was you," or "You're Nivea." Like things come with that. It
Yeah.
comes with people not knowing how to treat you, or people being upset with it. So
Yeah.
either way, it's just a funny space to be in. It is a blessing to be honored and respected and revered for your talent, but it's a whole nother thing when it comes with "I hate you" or "oh, ooh, you're not real" type of. Either way, it's that comes with it. So what parent wants that for their child? It's not. It's a very
Yeah.
difficult life to live. People look at the luxury part of it, but it's an awkward space to live in. I have to. I'm not a human to a lot of
Hmm.
people. Their
Yeah.
fathers are definitely not human to most
Yeah.
people. So it's an awkward space. So you don't really want your child to choose it. You really don't. You really
Yeah.
don't. But you understand when you know that you are gifted and
Yeah.
respected for it, like me and their fathers are. That means God wanted that to be on you because He wanted to
Right.
touch that many people to live through you, to affect people, to change somebody's life. So,
Mm.
because of that, when I see them step into that and mean it, I'm gonna get
Yeah.
behind them. Even if though I
Wow.
don't want them to be famous, but I know that means they know they're tapped and God wants to use them. So of course I'm gonna support it. And they're
Wow.
actually talented. Cause I'll be like, boo, you ain't got it. I'm not that kind of mama. I'm not like,
Right.
oh my baby is so good. Nah. If you're not good, I'm be like, that was flat.
Yeah.
You need to work on that. I'm that type of mother.
Wow. Well,
I'm like
Nivea,
that.
let me ask you this then, because you're an artist and a mother that's been through the ups and the downs in the industry, so you know what to expect. When you were coming up as a young female singer, your family, they might not have like I think people when they see like the unsung episodes now and they see those bad contracts and those crazy situations back in the day, you
My
weren't.
mother was completely against it. Completely.
Yeah.
But she didn't trust my manager at the time, and rightfully so. That man
Yeah.
had ill intentions, but he also changed my life and all of our lives because of his what he saw in me and what he
Yeah.
believed in me at the time as well. So I don't regret anything. I feel
Yeah.
like if you, every single thing and every single person that you have met that's come into your life, that you have come into and left people's lives, was for a reason. If you didn't gain something
Yeah.
for it, then you're going to repeat that cycle again through something or someone else until you recognize everything happens for a reason. So I'm very grateful for my experiences, good and bad, because I wouldn't be who I am today without them. That's just the truth. It's
Wow.
not cliche. That's true.
That's powerful. So Nivea, like I said, we're out of time here, but you got to do me one favor. You said you're going to be making music videos, visuals. Can you make one for Away? Make one for that
Oh
song.
my lamb! You know I want to do a waste so bad. I
Yeah.
want to make it like I mean, one of my great influences. Rest in peace, Aaliyah, when she
Yep.
did a rock the boat under the water scene. I'm afraid I can't
Yep.
swim. I'm afraid of water. So I wanted to do something like that, but it might be in the look of that, but in the sky because it's saying away.
Okay.
So we'll
Yep.
see, but away is definitely on the list. Thank you for having me. I love you guys. I follow you. You know I
Absolutely.
got so all the time. And to whoever's I didn't get to read any of the comments down there, but I love all y'all, whoever's showing love. I just saw Dre, Playboy Dre, my manager in here. I love
Yep.
all of y'all. Official shy CEO. I love you. Always show love. I don't even
Nivea.
know. It's so many people. Oh, I didn't even know that. Guys, I love y'all. Thank you so much. Okay, I'm out of here. Thanks for having me.
Hey Nivea, just keep us posted on everything. You've got our support. Just
You
keep
know
doing
I
your
will.
thing. Keep pushing.
I will. Thank you.
All right, you take care.